Welcome everyone. Weekly Forex forecast here. Uh, got a lot to go over. A lot of good setups. We'll cover the markets, the S&P 500, the Nasdaq. Look at the major Forex pairs, commodities, crosses. You got a lot of nice setups. Particular, some of these crosses are looking real good, especially CAD Swiss. So it's probably my number one sell for this week. We'll get into that pair. And we'll cover a lot. We'll mostly stick to higher time frame stuff. I'll dive down to the lower time frame on a few pairs to cover some structures. But let's get started. Risk disclaimer, read it over. And let's go. So, again, these are the list of the setups that we trade and we go over. We particularly like overbought, oversold 34Bs. Your lower time frame is usually could be making a double top, double bottom off the 200. This is a great trade. All right. If I had to pick one setup, it would probably be the double top, double bottom off the 200. Because at this point, once you make a double bottom off the 200, you're also going to have structure to pull at that point. So you can enter the double bottom off the 200, pull your structure, and you can also double up your position at the first higher, lower, lower, high after the break of structure. So, and your higher time frames bullish, overbought, bouncing off the 34. So if I had to pick one setup, that would probably be it. Just because you have a lot of setups, and then if these double tops and double bottoms fail, a lot of times you have another trade going the other direction. And your EMAs, once you lose your 200, once that double bottom fails and you lose your 200, your EMAs can begin to stack the other way, and you get a 34B trade going the other way on that time frame of whatever pair is making the double bottom off the 200. So, and we'll cover a lot of these setups. We dive down to the smaller time frame. I'm doing the daily market blitz. I usually put these videos out around market close. So, and in these videos, we dive down to lower time frame stuff, look at the structures that are setting up and all that kind of thing. So, pairs we covered this week was euro dollar. All right, we had the 200 4-hour 200B off of the 200, and you're still in that entry. You could have shut it down on that 4-hour close below the 8, wouldn't have been a problem. So if you were thinking you were going to make a double bottom down there. Euro Swiss, we wanted this daily close below the 8. We went over this in daily market blitz, right? For this running flat down, and you have potential to drop much lower. So that's a good entry there. Looking for that running flat down. And we covered Nasdaq, right? We were on the 1-hour chart, and we lost our 200 at this point. Failed to make any kind of C wave up down there. And you had a 1-hour 34B trade right there that we pointed out in Market Blitz. ZAR, all right, dollar ZAR. We went over this in last week's Forex forecast that you absolutely want to buy setups in dollar ZAR, euro ZAR, pound ZAR, all right? And we had a great 8-hour higher low setup right here on dollar ZAR. We went over that in the Blitz. Aussie 4-hour double bottom. It was a buy setup. If it starts to fail, we're looking for sell setups in the lower time frame. You haven't had it close below the 4-hour 8 yet. You got no reason to dump that trade. And you're still in it. So we'll go over that as well. Pound Oz. We were looking for upside. We had an 8-hour bullish oversold 21B. You're stopped out of that right now, but now you can see you got an 8-hour 3-wave structure. So we're still looking for, if we get an 8-hour close above the 8 right here on Pound Oz, it's going to be another entry. But pound Oz got stopped out. So, um, like I said, these daily market blitz videos will usually come out around market close, little before, little after. And if there's any structures you want me to go over in it, just leave me a comment in the last video, and I'll go over the structure. All right, so if it's something you want to watch, go ahead and turn on the notifications so you get alerted when the videos come out. So that is that. And we'll get started now. We'll jump to start off on the markets, right? So we'll start off on the S&P 500 futures. And when we 4-hour chart, you're getting a bounce off the 200, big bullish engulfing candle. I wouldn't enter this candle. Anytime you're like 2 or 3 times past your ATR, I would wait for a retracement. But you ran into your 4-hour 200, you dropped down the daily chart, you ran into your daily 34, and you're oversold. So technically, this is a daily buy setup. All right, this is a daily buy setup on the S&P 500. And you have your quarterly, your next stop, your quarterly R1 is up here. All right, this is your quarterly R1. Good chance we're going to rally up and hit it. So, and we'll look at the lower time frame structures to find out what it's doing, right? If this thing starts working its way back down to the low here, and you're just making a flat correction right here. So, right, if bulls fail to do anything at this daily oversold, daily 34B, then we could be coming down for deeper corrections. Until then, you got to treat it as a bullish daily 34B. Same thing on Nasdaq, right? Nasdaq came down 34B. All right. 4-hour chart, you're 200, and you got a bullish candle right here. So we got to see what happens. Are you going to make, is Nasdaq just going to start to build out a larger correction right here? Could we get like a zigzag maybe? And then start coming down. So for a larger correction, or are we going to keep rallying because our quarterly R1 is right up here at 19,000, about 19,250. So we'll see what the lower time frames give us, right? So I'm not interested in entering any of these candles right here. They're way over the ATR, so you would have to dive down to the lower time frame, 15-minute, to start looking for setups and stuff. And we'll go over that in the daily market blitz. We'll see what happens Monday. But as of right now, these are bullish setups. All right, these are bullish setups. Now Nasdaq isn't oversold yet, but you did get a reaction here off of your 34. And like I said, we pointed out this sell right here, so that turned out to be a pretty good sell because we lost our 200 at that point. Failed to make, this could have been a running flat. We pointed out that this could have been a running flat for a B wave. All right, you got an A, you got a B, you got a C, and you failed to make any kind of even C wave up for a running flat right here. So, and you rolled right back over right here. So at the 1-hour 34B, which is why it was a good entry. So, all right, and that was just a regular overbought, oversold 1-hour 34B. All right, after we failed to make a double bottom at 200. So that's what that trade was. Gold, 4-hour chart. All right, so question is this all your correction? You got a number of possibilities here on gold, right? So we're going to have to track this structure in the lower time frame. Question is that all your correction? And we're getting ready to run down to the 100 right now for a zigzag correction. All right, that's one possibility. Your other possibility, you're correcting right here. This is a correction, and we're getting ready to run up to the 100 of the A wave, the A, the B. You're getting ready for a C wave up. All right. And when we jump to the 8-hour chart, that would basically be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swing sequence up to the 100, and you'd be taking your next 8-hour bearish engulfing candle right here, or lower time frame triggers, right? So that's your other possibility. All right, and your last possibility that I think is least likely is you're on your way up to the 1618, and this is your 1, this is your 2, and you're on your way up for a 3, possibly up to the 1618, or even a higher high, 2618. All right, 2618 is at a higher high, 2500. Reason you have to keep this possibility in mind is because when we jump out to the 4-hour chart here, this could be correction right here. This could absolutely be a running flat correction that is about to go. All right, so they are your 3 possibilities. All right, a 1, a 2, a 3, up for a higher high. This is a running flat correction. You're gone. The other possibility is we stop at the 100 for an a B, and a C, and then we start coming down for a zigzag. All right, your next stop would be the 100 at that point down here. Other possibility is this is all your correction. This is all your correction. A current 3-wave structure in the 4-hour chart. 1, 2, 3. This is a lower high, and you're getting ready to basically drop right now. So you got to just track it, right? You got 3 possibilities. I would say these 2 are most likely. With your least possibility, you're getting ready to run up to the 2618 for wave 3. Silver, nothing doing. It's about to tell us what it wants to do. You got a double top up here, and we'll see what happens. So we will see what happens down here at this 100 on the 4-hour chart. We'll be updating this structure, but big picture, we are looking for a big running flat when we step out to the weekly chart. We're looking at this as an A, looking at this as a B wave that breaks the high, and we're looking for a move down. So minimum down to your 100 extension, or you got your 618, like right here, 618 a wave A. So, and it should give us some sell setups now, right? Because bulls are getting a 1, 2, 3 structure to do something with it, and we'll see what happens. Is this high going to hold when we jump down to the 1-hour chart? And are you going to get a bearish 34B entry, right? You're going to have to just, if you get a good bearish 1-hour 34B and you're bearish, you can take it, see if we're going to run down to the 100 or drop farther down through. Maybe we start running to the 1618. So that is your next setup. We'll be updating this on Monday's Daily Market Blitz. Copper, we're still looking for this. We're looking for a big C wave down. We jump out here to the weekly chart, and we're looking for a C wave down. Again, similar. Silver, looking for a big flat correction. All right, so 4-hour, you're sitting at your 200. I would wait for a larger 4-hour correction. You can take another 4-hour 34B if it sets up, but you're oversold. You're at your daily 34. You're at your 4-hour 200. It could throw you a larger correction. All right, so it could start to make a larger double bottom down here off the 200, stuff like that. So we'll see. We'll track this structure. You don't have a sell set up now in the 4 hour. You'd have to wait for a 34B or something. So that is that. Euro. What do we got on Euro? We covered that our last 4 hour buy setup was this 200B. All right. So when you take a 200B, you like to see a close below this level to exit because you want to give it room for the double bottom. So you should still be in this trade. Now there's a lot of structures that lower time frame structures, right? If we jump out to the daily chart, we pretty much got two options. Are we coming back to these highs, right? And this is all your correction. Or are we coming back to these lows and this is a running flat right here, the lower high? All right. You got a running flat and we're getting ready to come back down to these lows. So 3-day chart, we are overbought on the 3-day chart. It is a potential lower high. You got a high here, you got a lower high here, you got a lower high here, you got a lower high here. So and when we dive down to the 4-hour chart, this thing right, you got a number of possibilities because of the way that this structure went up. It went up in 3 waves and it's leaving us with a lot of possibilities on the 4-hour chart. Right, so you could be in something more complex. You could be in something as simple as, we're on the 1-hour chart right now. I'll clear these indicators off. But here you got to run it flat. All right. So you have an A, you have a B, you have a C wave down. 3-wave structure. So this right here could be your A. All right. You got a 3-wave structure going up right here. Running flat in the middle. You got an A, B, C. All right. For B wave. And then you get a C wave down. You measure all that, right? You tag the 100 and you got an impulse up. Lower the A wave to the top of the B wave, came down to the 100, and we're in this. So the question is it a 3-wave structure? Is it going to go make a 5-wave structure? And then are you, right? Now you can take your first high or low after the break of this ABC, right? So, and then you take the first high or low after the break of structure now for this ABC to find out if we're coming up to these highs. Went back down to the 1-hour chart. All right, so that's one possibility. I'll clear this off. Other possibility is you just start working your way back down to the lows here, all right, in something like this. And then now you're assuming you're making a flat correction like this, all right? And you'll have a double bottom off the 4-hour 200 at that point. You jump up to the 4-hour, it's going to be a double bottom, right? So we could be in larger structures like this as well. So, but you take the setups on the 4-hour chart. Our last buy setup was this 200B right here, all right? For the potential pattern. We wanted this because this could be an A, B, C, corrections over, and we're going impulse up. But you can also be in a larger structure, right? Because now all of this can turn into, that ABC turns into a W. This could be an X wave up here. And now you're coming down for a Y, right? Now you have a WXY structure. So like I said, when you get down to these lower time frames, there's a million different patterns I can draw, a million different ways it could set up. So are we in an impulse now to go up? Is this an ABC correction? And we're getting ready to take off. All right, if we start working our way back down to the lows, assume you're going to be in a WXY structure going down. So they're your two patterns you're currently in right now. When we jump to the higher time frame, we have no trend, and this thing could go either way. It could come after these highs, or it could be making a running flat right here to come after these lows down here. So that's it. You gotta just take the trade. So far, our last trade was that 4-hour 200B. Other than that, you don't have much unless you want to jump down to the 1-hour chart and stuff, 15-minute. So CAD. All right, daily chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 swing sequence. If we take out right now, you got a 7 swing sequence on the daily chart. I'll go over the pattern again. I'll hide all these indicators. The pattern that I am looking for. We'll jump up to the 3-day. All right. We're looking at this as an ABC. All right. Here's your A. You're in a B wave now. And we're getting ready to go up for a C. All of this is just a larger A. Here's your B. And you're coming down for a C for running flat. You're just making a big running flat right here. All right. So, in my opinion, we are getting ready to do this here. Something along these lines. You're getting ready to make a running flat right here. And you're going. All right. So, this, in my opinion, this is what we're getting ready to do. We want buys in this structure because we're trying to capture this wave right now. All right. Big picture stuff. If this level doesn't hold, let's just say we start to work our way back down to these lows, which I think is less probable, but it's there. We jump out to the monthly chart. I'll clear this off. Put our indicators back on. Zoom in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? If we're going to make if this structure doesn't hold right here and we're going to make another move down, you're going to have a 5 swing sequence on the monthly chart coming off your 89. All right. So in which case you're getting an impulse straight up. And this is just a larger A, B, C. All right. So, but the reason you want to take the structure now is because you got a monthly double bottom off the 34. You have a 1, 2, 3 wave structure now. You could be inside of a monthly impulse now. So, which would be that running flat, right? So, if our daily chart is going to make this pattern, if our daily chart is going to make this running flat right here, this is basically just a monthly impulse up, right? A monthly trend above the 8 if we're going to do this and build out a flat. So, all right, so they are the two possibilities. You're either going to get a move down to the lower of the structure if this consolidation starts to pick up steam and make lower lows. I don't think that's what we're doing. I think we're getting ready to make a running flat. So we want buys in dollar CAD. Drop down to the daily chart. All right. What was our last daily signal? All right. Last daily signal was here. You could have entered here for the double bottom off the 89. You want to see a solid close below this level. But let me clear all this off. All right. So you want to see a solid close below this level. But even if you get a solid close below this level, this thing could come just tag this 200 and then start to completely rip. All right. If you look at your weekly pivots, you've got a weekly pivot right down here. So I'm expecting this to hold, right? So I'm not expecting to run past this weekly pivot, past the 200. I'm looking for buy setups all the way. Now, there's a chance that you don't make it down here and we don't take out these lows, all right? And there's a chance we do not take out these lows. because you have a 1, a 2, a 3. This could be an impulse up, and you have another 1, 2, 3 that is a higher low. Any close, right? If we come down and don't take out these lows, we come all the way down here, and then we get a bullish engulfing close back above the 8. You got what? A 1, 2, 3 swing sequence, impulse up, 1, 2, 3 higher low at that point. All right. This could potentially be a sneaky flat correction, and you're going out of the structure. All right. So that is that. But you also got to be aware you could be in this structure for a little longer as well. So I'll clear all this off. Right? Because you're getting sharp. You got sharp wave followed by sharp wave followed by potential 3 wave. So, right, when you start looking at this structure, it's getting messy. You know you're in a B wave. B waves can be messy, and CAD could just start to throw you stuff like this, right? And all you're doing is building out a larger WXY structure. All right, and then this becomes your W, this becomes your X, and now you're coming down for a Y, and then now this whole structure is complete. If my mouse wants to work. Batteries must be dying. Hold on. There we go. Right. And then now you're coming down for, I think the batteries are dying in my mouse. A Y wave down here. All right. And when we zoom out to the higher time frame, the daily chart, you're just making this, right? And then this WXY structure just becomes your B wave, right? And then now you're getting ready to go for the running flat to make this running flat right here. Let me jump up 3-day, right? All right, so that is what we got. We could potentially be building out a larger structure right here, a larger WXY structure for the B wave. All right. So, but you want to keep trading. Even if we do this, I think this low, I feel like this low right here should hold for now. I think like I said, you got your pivots down here. You got your daily 200. I would be looking for buy setups in dollar CAD. You want buy setups. Any 1 hour buy setups down here, I think you want to take. So, that's my personal opinion. You want buy setups all the way in dollar CAD. So, your next 1 hour bullish engulfing close above the 8 could be impulsive if we don't take out these lows, right? So that is that. All right, dollar CAD will go to Aussie. What was our last trade in Aussie? You know the two structures we're looking for in Aussie. Excuse me. We had let me get a drink of coffee. We had a double bottom entry off 200 down here. All right, now this is what I mean when you get these double bottoms off the 200. When you get these double bottoms off the 200, you also have structure at that point, right? So you can take, if you don't want to buy the 200, or if you didn't buy the 200, you can always take the first higher, lower high after the break of structure. All right, so here is your structure, right? You have structure right here now. So you can sit on, if you didn't take this 4-hour double bottom, you can sit on hands and take the first high or low after the break of structure. Your first oversold 34B after the break of structure. So that is a setup. I like to take these double bottoms. Even if you took this first 200B, you would be looking for a close, solid bearish close below this level. Never got it. If you put your stop one tick below, you see how it would have got you. So if you entered here, you're still in the trade. You entered here, you're still in the trade. If we break structure and a 4-hour 34B sets up, you double up your position size. All right. You double up your position size on this 4-hour bullish engulfing candle. And then that's kind of how I like to do it if I get a good setup. Now you're running doubled up risk free. So that is that. This thing could still, much like CAD, much like Euro, could still, you could still work your way back down here, right? You could still work your way back down here for a structure, and you're starting to build out something like this, right? You're just making a large flat right here, and you come down. So you got to be aware of it. Two major structures though, right? You're coming back to these highs, or all of this is an expanded flat, and we're getting ready to drop on down, right? You're getting ready to start that impulsive move to the downside for that running flat for this A, B, C down back down to these lows. So that is that on Aussie dollar. New Zealand, we're really only looking, if we're taking buy setups in New Zealand, you have an 8-hour bullish 34B right now. This is a pretty big candle, so I would wait for pullbacks. But we're looking for buy setups because really the clearest pattern we do have on New Zealand is this, right? A move back up to these highs. Now, this is a pattern, and this pattern is going against your weekly trend. It's going against your weekly trend. It's going against your 3-day trend. So, and what I want to point out here is you have lower high, you have lower high, lower high. This is potentially a lower high. You're overbought on the 3-day chart. We jump up to the weekly chart. All right, you're overbought. You got lower high. Every time you come up to the lower bought, you got a lower high, lower high, lower high. So this pattern is going against the trend. All right, and so if this thing starts to fall apart, you want sells because it could just simply be putting in a lower high. All right, it could just simply be an oversold. An overbought lower high that's getting ready to drop. So it's fighting trend trying to complete this pattern. But you are bullish still on the lower time frame, right? So stick with it. You're bullish on the lower time frame. Take good trade setups. See if we're going to come take out this high. But if these setups start to fail, you know it could just be an oversold weekly and an overbought weekly lower high, and take good sell setups going the other way. So that's that, right? If your 4-hour starts to fail down here at your 200, guess what? You're going to start to stack bearish the other direction. You're going to have 4-hour sells. So like I said, we're not there yet. We are still bullish on the 4-hour, and we're bullish on the daily, right? Your 8's above your 34, you're stacked bullish. So you can go ahead and take buys. All right, pound pretty much right. We're looking for sideways correction. We're looking for sideways correction in pound. You have a 3-wave zigzag down here. You got a potential 3 waves up. Same thing as Euro, same thing as CAD, right? You could start to build out something more sideways. Are we making a big flat correction right here on the daily chart? You're looking for sideways corrections because your EMAs are, yeah, my mouse is screwed up. All right, you're looking for sideways corrections because of, all right, fuck it. Right, your 3 days completely sideways. Your daily chart, you're starting to stack a little bullish, but You are coming down 4 hour chart, right? We don't really have a setup yet. You are in a 4 hour double bottom 89. So you got your 200 below you. You got weekly pivot support. So you really don't want to see this low get taken out. Technically, you have a 4 hour 89B trade that you're inside of right now. You don't want to see a close below this level. Any close below this level, and probably this is the three-wave structure you're looking for. You're looking for a move back down to the 200. So, like I said, I wouldn't really be jumping to buy this because you have your higher time frame's not really trending. Um, and we could easily come down to the 200 because we're expecting sideways correction because we're kind of sideways, right? And you're contracting, contracting, contracting. We jump up to the 3-day chart, you're contracting, right? So you can see here's your high, and you can see we're just starting to contract here. So after contraction, we'll get expansion. Are we going to get something like this? You make a B wave down to the bottom of the channel, you make a C wave up to the top, then you come down. This turns into what people would call a fake out or liquidity grab, and then you get to move up. And really, all you'd be doing is making a a flat a flat correction right here. All right. So that is that on pound. All right. Yen, nothing really doing. You're coming up, right? Thought maybe we could make a move down for a run flat right here. You don't get a 4 hour sell set up for that. Um, Nothing really to do on dollar yen. So that is that. Let's cover some of these crosses. All right. So pound Oz. We went over this, and I think I featured this video on Daily Market Blitz Tuesday. We had an 8 hour 21B here, and you're getting another buy setup. The reason you wanted to buy this, if we get an 8 hour close above this, we have an 8 hour 1, 2, 3 wave structure down. This could be an ABC for an impulse up. All right, so we want our next 8 hour close above the 8. And the reason we want this is because 3-day chart, we're looking for this basically. You have 3 waves down, ABC. It could be all your correction. You could be getting ready to go. All right, but at minimum, we're looking for a move up right here. So we're looking for an impulse up to the 100, and we're looking to go. So that's why you want to take a shot in this structure. You have an impulse up. You have a complete A, B, C right here, impulse up, and this structure could go right now. So you want to take your next 8 hour close. If that fails, you're pretty much done trading it because your stack would be blown up at that point on the 8 hour chart. All right. These ZAR pairs. You want pullbacks in these ZAR pairs. All right. You're looking for 8 hour 34Bs, 4 hour 34Bs. All right, 4 hour pulls back to the 34, and you got pivot support. Dollars are. You absolutely want to take a 4 hour 34B. Euros are. We went over this. You absolutely want to take a 34B trade this week. You got pivot support. You got EMA support. You got pattern support. Weekly chart on Euros are, right? You just closed above the 8 on the weekly chart. You absolutely want buys. We're getting ready for a weekly impulse up to here. All right. Are you just making a large weekly flat right here? So this is the wave we're going after right now. Wave to come take out these highs. You want 4 hour pullbacks in Euro ZAR. And it's the same thing in pound ZAR, right? Same thing in pound ZAR. You're looking for a weekly move up. You got a weekly close below the 8. You're oversold on all of them. You're oversold on dollars are, euros are, pounds are on the weekly chart. So, um, I like Eurozar structure too, right? It's not Eurozar and dollars are really, really clean. So uh here's Eurozar, right? The structure is just real clean. And you're looking for an obvious C wave up to about 21, 28. So and it could go you could break these highs up here. So Eurozar is a nice trade. Dollarzar is a nice trade. Setting alerts. We'll be going over these structures in the daily market blitz. All right, so we will be going over these structures in daily market blitz. And like I said, um, turn on your notifications so you're alerted when the videos come out. If you want to watch them. All right, so trade of the week that I like. CAD Swiss. All right. When we look at CAD Swiss and we step up to the 3-day chart, we're bearish. All right. When we look at CAD Swiss on the weekly chart, we're oversold. Is this potentially a double top up here off of your 89 and we're getting ready to come retest these lows? Are we getting ready for a down weekly cycle? And could it be impulsive? Could it come after these lows? Dive down to the daily chart. We got a double top up here. And one of two things is going to happen, right? So I think we're hitting this weekly pivot this week, right? It's the 100% of this. And this will really tell us what's going to happen, right? So are you going to make a correction down here for continuation? Or is this move going to be impulsive? But who cares about that for right now? Right now, you got weekly pivots down here at your 100 for this potential ABC. But it could also just be a double top. These could be the highs, and you're getting ready to roll over on the weekly chart. And when we look at retail sentiment, all right, when we look at retail sentiment and we drop down to CAD Swiss, all right, retail traders are very long this pair. So I'm more inclined to the downside. Now, when we jump down to the 1 hour chart, what are you waiting for? 1 hour chart. If you get any kind of structure, that looks like this right here on the 1 hour chart, you absolutely want sells. And this will probably be Monday at market close, right? So we'll see what kind of structure sets up. But if you get a 1 hour structure that looks like this on CAD Swiss, you absolutely want to stay focused for that. Right? You can just take the sell up here, right? It would just be a perfect sell. Pattern completion at your weekly pivots. Your next pivot is all the way down here at the 100% completion, and you could run right through this. You could correct down here and keep going because all of this, like I said, could just be a double top at your weekly 89. CAD Swiss sells all the way. Remember, retail traders are also very long this position, which can lead to long squeezes to the downside, right? Short squeeze, long squeeze. All right, that is that. Euro Swiss. You're looking for sells back down to complete this running flat. I like CAD Swiss a little better. We were in this daily entry right here. We pointed this out. You're looking for a move down to your daily 200 on CAD Swiss. So that is that. I won't cover the rest of these pairs. There's not much doing. There's nothing really in Aussie Yank, Aussie CAD, nothing. I like CAD Swiss this week, big time to the downside. Look for any corrections. Pound dollars, we like that to the upside. These ZAR pairs, you're looking for 4 hour 34 Bs and Euro ZAR, dollar ZAR, right? You absolutely want to buy pullbacks in dollar ZAR, Euro ZAR. And like I said, I want buys in dollar CAD. I showed you the structures. We will be updating them during the week. So there's a lot to go over. Gold has those three possibilities we went over. The markets just tagged their 34B 4 hour 200, but you're getting volatile now. So we got a lot to cover this week. Should be some good trading. My trade of the week, you absolutely want CAD Swiss. I think it's a great trade to the downside. If you can catch it in the 1 hour chart, you can take it down to your weekly pivot, your weekly S2, and take profit. And that right there will be a nice 5 to 1. That's all I got. If you like what I'm doing, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up. And if you got any questions, like I said, you want me to cover any pairs during daily market blitz, just leave a message in the comment section and take care of it. Have a good one. See you.